Hello everyone and welcome to Desynced. This is a new game releasing in early access tomorrow. It's a factory building game with a big focus on customizable and programmable units and buildings in order to achieve automation. It can look pretty overwhelming at first, but things are often pretty straightforward. We'll be moving both fast and slow in this series, so I can explain some stuff while trying to keep a good pace going. The preview key for this game was actually provided by the developers for free, so big thanks to them for reaching out. And thanks to you guys for supporting this channel and making this possible. By the way, if you want a quick overview on the game, just yesterday I released a review on it here, and I'll leave the link in the description in case you want to check it out. I've changed the graphic settings to my preference, I just lowered the resolution scale a bit and the depth of field effect, and we are ready to begin. Alright, so just in games like Factorio, we can create a map here and change some settings. This is the first time I'll be playing with hostile mode, those are the defaults here. I only played the tutorial where I think passive mode is enabled, so let's change the seed here, hopefully that's a good seed. And let's start playing. Activation protocol confirmed. Data corruption. The simulation integrity is desynced. Oh no! I don't know what that means.
Welcome back, Commander. Your ship has been damaged, and I've taken you out of stasis. I am Elaine, Emergent Logistics Artificial Intelligence Network. What you're seeing is a feed from an unidentified planet, where I've deployed a team for you to command. This planet seems to be the source of the damage, and we are unable to leave the planet's orbit until our ship is repaired, and the source of the damage is identified.
Alright.
You will need to establish a small mining facility in order to proceed with ship repairs. This will be your primary objective. Communications are currently limited, so one of the first things you will need to do is to establish an uplink from ground level. Try to find metal and crystal deposits, as we will need them for repairs.
Alright, there you go. That's Elaine, the tutorial lady. We start the game with 4 units. We start with 2 miners, 1 scout here that will be used as a hauler, and our command center. Very RTS, right? We start the game with our command building. I can see this is a good seed because we started right on top of a POI, a crystal chunk, and a metal chunk. That's great. I actually bumped into some seeds that were pretty hard to find metal. Let's build our base somewhat close to both resources, maybe here. Or maybe there, I'm not really sure. I did play through the tutorial, but I played a lot more with the programming rather than the game, rather than the factory building itself. So there we go, we deployed our command center. The first thing you should know about this game is that it's all about components. You can see here we have a medium slot, and this is a small component that fits on the medium slot, and there are medium components and large components. So that's pretty cool. I have a soft spot for games like this. The bots work the same way. You could actually give this mining turret here and place it on the building. You can see, and it works, but the range is really small, so the building won't be able to reach there. So yeah, this kind of silliness is really, really lovely. I have a soft spot for games like this, so I'm sorry if I sound too excited about this, but I actually like this. I don't know why. Maybe because it feels like Legos or something. But yeah, let's get started. Let's tell the scouts to come here and mine some more, and tell these other scouts to mine these crystal chunks. Actually, these crystal fields are pretty small,
Crystal
but anyway.
can be used in its raw form for now. Metal ore will need to be processed into metal bars. This can be achieved in the Fabricator, which you will find on your command center.
So yeah, here on this slot we have a Fabricator, which is pretty much a furnace. We can click here to change the recipe that it's crafting. Let's set it to metal bars, the most basic material, right?
We will require a large quantity of materials for future production, so having several dedicated production buildings is recommended. I would suggest building 1 or 2 more facilities to produce metal bars.
So yeah, sometimes I'll be cutting Elaine off because otherwise we'll be here forever. The tutorial is really good and I recommend you guys take it. But after you learn everything, it's cool to head your own way. Gonna just set up a few production buildings here. The fabricators can make themselves, and they can make assemblers, which make more advanced recipes. Split it right here in order to keep going. To speed up the early game, I'm gonna tell this scout here to drop his crystals and come here and mine iron. Just for a little bit, because we need a lot more iron than we need crystals at this point. And as we get more factories built, let me just show you how this works here. Here we have the inventory slots of this building. We can come here and request an item. Metal bars. And our base is actually on a logistics network. the base manages its orders by itself. If we open here the command center of the orders, we can see that something is asking for an item and someone is delivering it. So yeah, the order was complete. So even at this early stage, you have some automation going on, at least in terms of hauling and mining. The miners here will keep mining on their own, and the hauler is actually picking up materials directly from the miners and bringing to the base, and bringing to where they're needed. I find that pretty cool. And to move items around, like I said, you can click here and request an item, but I just noticed I sent a fabricator to the wrong place. This place already has a fabricator, so we can just click and drag and make an order to move this item from here, and the little hauler will complete the order. He actually just placed the fabricator in the right socket for us. So let's order it to make metal bars and tell this thing to keep constructing. And I expanded our material production here a little bit so we don't have to worry. The next step after you start producing metal bars is to make them into another product. Metal plates. So I'm going to start metal plate production here. And while the bots are working, let me show you here on this logistics network button, you can press right click. There's a few options here so you can customize the way hauler bots operate automatically. Right now I'm just going to click high priority here. So whenever there are too many orders, the hauler bots will prioritize bringing stuff here because this is our crafting center right now. This is where we're getting equipment and components from. Oh, and I just noticed I'm building those buildings here without equipment. So I have to manually come here and order this to craft some fabricators and then order the fabricators to come here and attach them and all that. But you can actually use prefabs. Here on the build menu, you have this option here where you can use a prefab. So this is a small building that already comes with a fabricator. So as long as you have the materials and the fabricator in your inventory, when the bots build this building, it will already come with the fabricator installed. That saves you a lot of clicking. So remember to use prefabs. And to make or change prefabs, you can come here on the library screen and it shows you all the prefabs you have saved. And you can actually edit them. This is a prefab for the constructor bot. And we have a solar building. We don't even have that technology yet. But yeah, those are prefabs I made on a different save. And I'm not sure it was clear before, but the components you install actually affect the visuals of the building. So below here we have the inventory slots of this building. And as we install different components, the graphics change. This is very cool. Again, I have a soft spot for stuff like this. Our new furnaces are ready. So I'm going to set them to make metal plates.
To produce more mining units, you must fabricate an assembler. With it, you will be able to produce a worker unit and equip it with a miner component.
Thanks, Eileen. Yeah, we are now ready to make assemblers. So we'll need 2 assemblers to make things faster. With them, we'll be able to make robots and more advanced components and actually start researching new technology. So we got our assemblers ready. We can just click and drag and change from our fabricators to the assemblers. And Eileen is telling us we can construct an uplink in order to establish a connection to the mothership, and that will allow us to start researching pretty much. So let's make an uplink, but before we make an uplink, we actually need circuit boards. And maybe, just maybe, we might delay the research for a bit because, you know, we really need miner bots. Over here, you can see your resources. It gives you a quick overview whether you have a surplus or a deficit of different items. And we seriously need more iron ore. So I'm gonna order some circuit boards here. And with the circuit boards done, we can get started on the bots. I'd like to make one to be a new hauler. But we also have those blueprints here, which again, you can change them on the library screen over here. This is a prefab for a miner bot.
Researching more advanced buildings and units, and by using automation.
Eileen, don't interrupt me when I'm making new bots. You can just come here and order new bots. Just like building prefabs, the bot prefabs will require you to have the components that will be attached to the bots when they are ready. So do we have enough mining lasers? Nope, we should order 3 more. Or actually, I want 4. And this new worker bot here is ready. The worker bots are very cheap early game bots. You can see we started here with a scout, and I pressed Ctrl 1 and set this guy as to 1 as a hotkey, just like other RTSs. The worker is much slower and he only has 1 inventory space, differently than the scouts that move almost 4 times faster and have 4 times more inventory slots. I'm gonna click this button here, and this guy is now hauling away for us. Oh, and our new miner workers are already ready. We can press tab here to toggle the overlays. And everyone is just mining away at the same mining spot. And if you have too much visual span, you can use tab here to change between the overlays. This gets more important on larger bases, I guess. I'm gonna actually build a storage building for metal plates and for metal bars. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 4 crystals. With our miner bots ready, I'm gonna get started here on the uplink. And as your base gets larger, this control center screen here will become more important. On the order screen, you can see how much stuff, basically how many tasks or jobs your base or your logistics network is requiring. So all of this is a hauling job that needs to be completed by someone. So our bots are a little bit overloaded with jobs, right? So we could do with 1 more hauler or maybe 2. And as it's building the bot, let's place the uplink here.
We have established a connection to the surface, and I have already begun synchronizing our databases. With this, we are now able to research new technology from the tech tree interface.
Yeah, we unlocked this research system, but something here isn't right. The antenna must go at the top. So on the research screen, we can choose between at least 3 different paths for researching. I really like to start with basic structures. Not sure if that's the right choice. But over at this first branch here, you can unlock more advanced automation stuff. And here you pretty much unlock bigger structures, materials, and bots. And over here you get power generation, power transmission, storage, and so on. So at some point you're going to have an issue where your crystal miner bots are just filled up and they have nothing to do. And you have no demand on your base for crystals, so they just stand here still. What you can do to fix that, you can click here on the store and click on a storage building, and the bot will go there when he's full and drop his inventory there. There's actually a couple different ways to start the storage building here. You can hold Ctrl and right click on a storage building, or you can just click and drag this here. Do whatever you think is comfortable. I really like this kind of thing in this game, or in automation games in general, where you have 2 or 3 ways to do the same thing. Going over here, I think I'm gonna build some places to make foundations.
For mothership repairs, we need higher level material production. Advanced materials are the next level of development, which can be produced in the assembler. We will require a high volume of materials, so you will need more buildings and mining units to keep up with resource demand.
Oh yeah, and our first research project is complete. We now have access to larger buildings that can fit medium components, and also another small building type that fits 2 small components. We don't have too many inventory slots. We can also now start producing reinforced plates. So let's get started on that. Let's build a few of these buildings here that can fit the medium component stuff. Just gonna pause them for now because we don't yet have a reinforced plate. For a reinforced plate, you actually need an assembler. You have to craft them on an assembler. So I think what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna pause research. I notice this is bad. Note it doesn't look good. But to make this faster, I'm gonna start producing reinforced plate here. And clearly I have too many furnaces making metal plates. I'm just gonna pause production right now. I'm gonna move those fabricators here and start making foundation plates. Foundation plates are pretty cheap. You need them in order to build foundations, the roads. Let's start building here. Let's pave away the planet. Remove all this plant life here. We don't need that. And when moving over roads or foundations, the bots move 20% faster. If this is too visually spammy, you can press tab to disable this overlay here. Whoops, it's getting late and we have no lights. Maybe this is a good time to say, this game looks really good.
We have a wider range of structures now with which to expand our base. We will need to research basic robotics to produce more advanced materials needed for mothership repairs and more efficient units to manage our base.
This is Elaine blaming me for stopping research. We need to move one of these assemblers over here. And we can place the uplink back. Please put it on the roof. Come on, it's an antenna, it goes on the roof. In this building here, we start producing reinforced plates. And on this type of building, we actually have an extra slot here, a small one. If you look at our power grid, we are pretty much in the border of it. Your base can only transmit power up to here. If your bots go away from this range, let's use this guy as an example. If he goes outside here, you can see that his battery is depleting. As soon as he touches the power grid, it shows the power grid information and he starts recharging his batteries. On the top left here, you can see your power grid information. We are very close to reaching the limit. We need some power generators. We need to research their power generator tech. But the game has efficiency, so if you run out of power, things will slowly get more inefficient instead of just dying out. So you won't lose the game if you run out of power. And I really appreciate that even on the first release here, we already have these screens showing what's consuming more power. So you can see our 7 workers are actually pretty expensive to run. And so are all our fabricators. We can see the power producers. And this is also a good time to have a look on the other tabs here. We can see all of our buildings, all of our bots, what they are doing. All the items in our storage, we already had a look at here. There's way too many jobs needing done, so we need more bots to work. It doesn't help that this guy here is just sitting still. And on the faction tab, I guess this is more towards multiplayer. There are some NPC factions. I'm gonna set these guys to neutral because I don't really know what they are. I've played for around 12 hours or more, and I still haven't discovered what the anomaly things are. We'll see them eventually. And what should be our faction name? I actually have no idea. I just sat here thinking for a second. Just like my YouTube channel, you know, this channel isn't named like this because I wanted to, just because I thought for a week what to name it and I had no ideas. Oh, and I see what's going on. This guy has nothing to mine over here. Okay, this didn't happen to me before. On my other save, I had so much crystal and so much metal right where I spawned. So this will create fun problems soon. Soon we will have proper mining robots with some programming to them. And as we build more stuff here, can I confess something? I'm actually really nervous about recording and making this series because usually I'm not very great at base building at all. Usually I build things too crammed and I end up starting over games because I hate how my base looks and I can't stand not having space to play around. And in this game you can actually create traffic jams. The first time I played, I made things only one tile wide, the corridor, so the bots had a really hard time working around each other. So I really recommend you do at least 2 tile wide corridors, but it seems to me that the 3 tile wide corridors are pretty good. We'll be learning together. And let's see here, it turns out actually that our power grid reaches here, so I'll make more assemblers. And also, of course, gonna set up research. How is our power looking? Yeah, it's looking bad. So let's research power. And I wonder if anyone has been screaming that I've been completely ignoring this. I swear to God, I didn't realize this was here. I kept looking at this fog here and I was wondering what was going on.
Investigate ruined structures across the world for data to help advance your technology. You may need to repair them before you can gain access. Exploring them could provide valuable information and resources.
Exactly, Elaine. So there are POIs for you to investigate. There's one here and there's probably more around. They're easy to see on the minimap. I think they're usually yellow in color. You have to send a bot to them and then you can interact with it. It opens up this screen here. Usually you have a puzzle to solve. I think I only saw 2 types of puzzles, but sometimes they can be pretty big here, the grid. And usually you also have to bring an item to repair the loot pinata that can be those places. Sometimes you can get pretty good loot inside these places if you solve the puzzles. Yeah, that's a portable right there. Okay, I'll take that for free, even though I have no use for it yet. And I'll steal this scout here for a second. I think if you take this here and bring this there, yeah, you can transfer the item.
The technology in this structure is highly compatible with our own. Investigating more of these structures would advance our own technology.
Yep. So here we just get some basic rewards, some reinforced plates and circuit boards that we can take. But sometimes inside of these places you get data cubes that you need. Yeah, here you require a data cube. That's interesting. Oh my god.
Critical hit.
Whoops, as always doing the puzzle. We got the basic power complete. We unlocked a crystal power generator, some lights so we can see at night, a portable power field, and a small power field. Those expand the ranges of our power fields.
You have fled from combat. Cowardice will not be tolerated.
So let me just finish this and we'll be right back.
Heat level critical.
Oh my god, that took forever. Oh shit. No, that was instant. Yeah, I wish you could see. I lost the footage. Okay, I'm so good at these mini games, you have no idea. Internal storage uses the internal socket as an item slot. Oh, I didn't see this before. That's nice. Again, that's why I really love this kind of socket stuff and component stuff, because you can just, you know, with mods you could just have infinite components with infinite features to them and you can just socket them on the bots. Let's just pretend this bot didn't run out of power. You didn't see anything because I was standing there for so long. By the way, did I just complete everything here? No, yeah, we need a data cube and the other stuff that I never saw before. Okay. So we'll very soon start needing data cubes. I think, no, it's just on the gateway technology, so we have a ways to go, but eventually you need those data cubes. So you need to go into these buildings, do the puzzles. Not every puzzle is as bad as this one was. And I'm gonna start researching basic signals here. Whoops, and just as we completed our reinforced plate production, there is an anomaly going on. I've played this game for over 12 hours and I have no idea what those are or how to solve them. They're kind of scary, actually. This one, yeah, I never saw this before. Like, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Elaine, please! So we just unlock basic signals. the signal reader, the portable radar, and the signpost. We'll have a look at them soon. I really want to see what this does. What? Was that a puzzle and I just got it right on the first try? I say we got a data cube in a power transmitter. Oh, I never saw this before either. Oh, that's so nice. See, like, I'm really trying not to be hyped and not to sound too happy, but damn, man, it's hard. I love this sort of stuff. Like, I never saw this before and I just can slot it in anywhere I want. Wow, that sounded terrible. Now we just have 4 data cubes to go. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to set research. Let's go back here. I wanna unlock the behavior controller.